episode is sponsored by Output Strength Systems. Output Strength Systems is responsible for helping hundreds of people get strong, understand how to move properly, and why they should be moving that way.
Output also understands the power of music when it comes to training. They aim to pioneer and bring together a larger community of people, not only sharing the experience of raving, but lifting properly as well. If you're interested in learning how to move in the gym a little bit better,
Compete in powerlifting or wear the latest rave-inspired merchandise, head to outputstrengthsystem.com and inquire with one of their coaches today. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of The Scene Down Under, brought to you by Hardstyle Australia with your favourite hosts, VUKZ
and TOZA. How are you, TOZA?
I'm good. See, you beat me to it.
Yeah, I got in there first.
You got in first. Great, man. Just happy to be here with a very special guest, and just finished work, straight to recording a podcast.
Yeah.
Still in the fucking highvies.
Delivering big kicks and your
I'm not in delivery, bro. Get it right, cuz. I process.
You deliver haircuts, cuz.
Fresh fades and that.
Fresh fades with the zag.
Yeah, hair clip your kicks.
Yeah. We're joined here today, very special. We are recording this again after Night Visions and BPM. We won't get into too much of it. There's not too much we can recap
Yeah,
on.
because we already got into it last episode.
With Till.
But before we get to anything, thank you for listening to our podcast and your countless support. And please drop a comment, like, subscribe. We're really trying to get to our target of 1,000 subscribers. So if you can share it to your mates, if you can subscribe yourself, that'd be great. Leave us a comment below who you want to see, and if you have any feedback, and also like and turn on the notification bell.
Yeah,
and
chuck
give
us 5 stars.
Yeah, that one.
That one. You always forget that
what
one.
he said.
Yeah, give us 5 stars,
yep.
please. It's
And also just wanted to touch on with our sponsor.
Check us out. Check the link down below, outputstrengthsystems.com. If you want to look buff and swole like me, or if you just want to wear output stuff, output gear like TOZA, check them out down in the link below. They'll be having a drop soon, like we always mention. So check them out, guys.
But without further ado,
drum roll, please.
Today we're joined by a very special guest who is not from Australia.
Yeah.
He is all the way from Germany. He's an up-and-coming producer / DJ who has a big taste in raw and something
extra
we really
raw.
like. Extra raw. Some of the PVC kicks and the gated goodies. We're joined by Jannik, aka Sonicz.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy to be here. Thank you for your time. It's my first time in Australia and I'm having a lovely time. Thank you for everything so far. Yeah.
No worries,
how's
man,
my
our
couch?
pleasure.
Is my couch comfy?
Yeah, your couch is awesome. Had a lovely night's sleep.
I mean, look, it's much better than a hostel with like strangers.
That's true. 100%.
The first night he slept over, he came into my room and there was a fucking spider. Like
Welcome to
welcome to Australia, mate, bro.
Welcome to Australia.
You can't get any more Australian than that, man.
Yeah,
You got the
100%.
full experience.
So how was your first? You checked out Night Visions, obviously, but the night before you actually played down in Melbourne.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, for starting Sonicz just at the beginning of the year was already, I don't know, I didn't expect too much, but like having my first gig in Australia after such a small amount of time, I mean, there are other artists that work very long for this. And I was very grateful that I got hit up from no sleep, and it was all very well organized. I decided to go on a vacation to New Zealand because I've been doing a lot at the beginning of the year. I've got 3 different projects. So I've got my main work, of course, and I've got Hardstyle and Sonicz. And I decided to go for a little break. So I went to New Zealand. That was really refreshing. Also, to recharge a little bit. But then also having the gig down here in Australia was a huge opportunity. It was... it was fully packed. It was, I mean, like 500 people or so were there. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was amazing, and it was such an energetic crowd, and people came to see me all the way on the other side of the world, which is something that you usually don't get, and that is just like the best feedback I could have asked for.
Yeah, well, we've seen the videos, looked awesome, man. And you joined us as well after at Night Visions and BPM. How was that for you, like seeing a bit more of a festival where you're not playing and getting to see the crowds here in Oz?
Yeah, absolutely amazing. It's, if you would ask me the question, what is like the biggest difference, I wouldn't know really what to say, because I think the crowd is very dedicated here as well. And also just going nuts to the drops and everything. It's lovely to see this on the other side of the world, and seeing also the scene has grown so much, and so many dedicated people here as well. I mean, they were rocking up with merch from Dominator. I spoke to people here. They've flown over. They've been to some events I haven't even been to yet in Europe, and then for me it's just like right there, while for you it's like several thousand kilometers. So that's amazing to see.
So what do you think is the biggest difference from playing at No Sleep Entertainment in Melbourne? What did you see that is very different in the crowd than the crowd in Europe?
Well, let's put it like that. There are also major differences amongst the countries in Europe, but what I would say, like, I've played mostly in the Netherlands so far, and there the thing is that, like, I like to support many upcoming artists in my sets as well, with like edits or new tracks. So I collect a lot of new music before my gig, and like if I go and play in the Netherlands, they usually already know the track. So I played a track that wasn't even released yet, and the crowd were chanting along. While in Australia, it's just something, it takes time for the music to get here. So I felt like as there were more like wow events, less than people singing along. So like people, they knew the original track, but then like when the edit that for example I played, when that hit them, they're like more amazed by it. While in the Netherlands, they were already like all doing the kick rolls and everything.
Yeah. I see that a lot, like, because with the Netherlands crowd, a lot of people know the artists like much more than like, especially the underground artists that you play their music. And they really watch them and they follow them on social media. So as soon as someone posts a preview or the track gets played once or whatever, everyone usually has a recording of it, and it's all over Reddit and all over YouTube. Someone posts a video about it, and they will study every single kick roll. Because like I can see that with like two of my tracks, the Fuck It Up and Wall of Death remix. Honestly, like I saw a TikTok of this guy full kick rolling the whole thing. I was like, holy shit!
What, fuck it up?
Both Fuck It Up and Wall of Death, but the TikTok I saw was from Wall of Death, and it was really, really insane. Like, just that's how much attention the guys pay in the Netherlands, which is crazy. Yeah,
100%.
It's just so dedicated to the point where like they will spend that extra effort to look for a stupid rip and like analyze the whole thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Also, people at the event taking videos of like, because they know it's a new track, so they got the video, and like just like you said, they can look at it back at home, study the kick rolls, and the second time they hear it, they will have like. That's why also in the Netherlands it's like, if a new track is dropped, you know, like it will take, or like not even dropped, like not released, but just like played at an event, after like 2-3 weeks, you have a lot of people who will like know everything about the track, which is crazy. And I think that's like the biggest difference compared to Australia, because it does take some time.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you, man. Yeah, 100%.
So you came down here alone, and we're starting to get a lot more bigger festivals and stuff like that. We've got Knockout coming up. From your own experience, what would you like suggest to people wanting to travel or having the idea to travel to Australia for a festival? I know you were just at a smaller based one, but are there any tips or anything, because you did come alone? Like, what would you suggest to people wanting to come to Australia?
Well, do it for sure. It's worth it, definitely. I mean, Sydney is an amazing city. It's a little bit, how would I say, it's a very... I mean, a lot is happening. You can do a lot. And yesterday I talked to a friend, and he said that there's some people who haven't left Sydney in ages, but that's just because you have everything here. So it's an amazing city. What I would suggest is take time. I'm just here for 4 days, and now I'm realizing that I would love to spend much more time in Sydney. Yeah. So if you do come down, of course, go to an event, 100% recommend that, but also take some time just to look at the country, get a bit taste of the culture.
It's good, man. So, what did you do so far in here? Like, you've been in Sydney, I think, since Saturday.
Yeah.
It's been like a couple of days now. What did you do to spend your time? Where did you go? What did you see? What was the biggest highlight you've seen so far?
Well, definitely the event was a highlight. Was fun times with you two. Was amazing. But also just the scenic points. Like today, I just had a nice day at Bondi Beach, and I came down in winter, and still it was warm. It was a beach feeling. Like I felt like I could just take my clothes off and hop in the water. I didn't though.
I'm surprised because last week we had just horrible weather. Like it was cold, freezing, windy. But I'm surprised. He's like, I'm going Bondi Beach today. I'm like, middle of winter. And then I was looking outside. I was like, it's so warm. What a lucky. Like in the middle of winter as well. I'm surprised. Like our weather's pretty good.
The weather is very unpredictable in Australia, man. Like it's like this is a very weird winter. And even we had a very weird summer where like it rained a lot.
Yeah, it rained so much.
Like you'd have like hot periods and then you'll just cop rain for the whole time, and it was just it's just a bit annoying how the weather's unpredictable.
Yeah, going back to like knockout will be in like a bit more of a summery, like it's spring.
Yeah.
So it's a bit warmer and stuff like that. But Melbourne, I know for Carnival, if anyone travels in future for next year, Melbourne is very unpredictable. So rug up when you go, because like they call it like the Four Seasons city, because it's like cold, then it's raining, then it's hot, then it just all seasons all in one day.
Yeah.
So Melbourne, just wear a jacket, be prepared.
Yeah.
It can change up pretty quick.
I mean, you're going back to Melbourne tomorrow, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what are your plans in Melbourne?
Well, I'm definitely gonna meet up with some other artists as well. So Frostbite, Hardik Patel, and
Shout out Hardy.
yeah, shout out Hardik, and maybe Colin.
Yeah,
Hennertz.
sweet.
Yep, and also meet up with the No Sleep guys again.
Yep.
I booked a day trip to Phillip Island, I think that's called.
Yeah, my island,
exactly. Your island.
Tell me you had an island.
Bought it recently.
bro, HSU, shout out to everyone giving me money. Imagine.
Yeah, I'm going there for. I want to. If you're down here, you have to see the koalas. So that was one of my to-dos.
Yeah. No, pretty good. I still haven't gone to Phillip Island. I just bought it. Just like but Melbourne's cool. I like Melbourne.
No, Melbourne's sick. I was there so we were there for Carnival. It was like really nice actually, like very, very nice weather. So this is 2 years in a row where we really cop good weather for like outdoor festival there.
Such a great event as well.
May I was there too. It was freezing, and I'm back there next weekend for again No Sleep. Really love what the guys are doing, and really appreciate them, obviously like giving us a chance and stuff to showcase our talent, especially being an interstate DJ for them. It's pretty crazy, man. I really appreciate it.
That's 3 events in like 2 months,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like you were there last month.
So March, May, July.
Yeah.
So 4 months. Yeah.
So yeah, but still, like having that many events back to back, like they had the arcade, this one, and now.
Oh yeah, sorry, you were talking. Oh yeah, so they had the arcade, the rave arcade. They had Base Horizon for Disturb, and then they had Hard Nation and then Hard Nation 2.0. So within 4 events within like
3-4 months.
2 months.
Bro, that's crazy, bro. Shout out to the Melbourne
4
crew.
events within 2 months, and they also have GPF coming up in August.
There you go, man.
Yeah.
Fuck, so many
Can't
events.
go because we're gonna be in Decibel.
We're gonna be in Decibel.
So if you're Dutch and you're watching this, make sure you come and say hi if you bump into any of us.
Yeah, get me to take photos of you and TOZA together. Bro, it's already happening in Sydney, man.
No.
Oh,
It's
bro.
alright, it's alright.
Maybe one photo with VUKZ one day.
Yeah, now VUKZ, I reckon you'll get more.
No, no way.
100%, man.
No way, no one knows.
Come on,
me.
bro.
That's the only
Everyone
pe-
knows, bro. You literally, every time I go out, the first thing someone does when they come up to me, like, where's VUKZ?
Yeah.
Where's VUKZ?
Thank you, bro. That's actually nice. I'm gonna
Where is VUKZ? I'm like, yeah, he had work.
He's at
Bro,
work.
before you know it, everyone's gonna be running to you wanting a photo. So
Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
no, well, funny story. When we were at BPM, someone came up to you and you're like, "Oh, are you Sonicz?"
yeah, it was crazy.
No, Sonic Boom.
yeah, Sonic
Are
Boom.
you
Sonic Boom?
I'm Sonic Boom.
Yeah, but that was crazy. Like, he was one of our mates, but like just for him to recognize
Yeah.
you as well, I was like, "What the hell?"
Yeah, but the funny story was after the event in Melbourne, because the next day I flew back to Sydney. So that was pretty hectic. I traveled traveled from New Zealand to Sydney to just the next day travel to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And well, the next morning I traveled back to Sydney because I wanted to get a night vision with you guys. So I was at the airport and I had a Please Rave Harder shirt, pullover on. And I had this necklace still on, and like basically it like peeped, saying that I still have like something on me. So there was a security guy, and he put the necklace up. He looked at me like, "Please rave harder." What kind of brand is that? I was like, yeah, it's like a German like harder styles, hard techno brand. And he looked at me and he was like, "Wait, you're Sonicz."
What?
I was supposed to come to your event last night, but I had a 5 a.m. shift, and I was just like, I'm at the airport, and this guy's recognized
what
me.
the
So
hell?
That's crazy.
and like in Germany,
That's crazy, bro.
That's legit crazy. Like, it's not crazy. It's crazy.
The chances of that happening, man.
yeah, it was because in Germany that wouldn't happen. Like, and in Germany, no one has come up to me,
Dude,
like,
it's weird
yeah.
because I had a similar interaction when we went to Perth. I was flying with Weaver, and we were rushing to get to the organizer because he parked in a spot where he can't really park. So we got out of the gate to like the exit, and then you obviously have to go outside the airport. And then we see these 3 people chasing us. They're like, "Are you guys playing a transition tonight? Can we get photos?" Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
What the hell?
like, bro, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's actually crazy.
yeah.
Bro, that's the moment you want.
Yeah, man. Look, the things that you don't expect just fucking happen. And it's actually like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna use the word crazy again. It's insane.
It's sick. No, it's mad. Like we say, like we don't do a lot of stuff. I noticed it myself.
Anyways,
No, but it's crazy. Like I said, my one happened.
crazy?
My one happened at a price line, and that was pretty fun as well. Like it was just a random kid in the area, and he was like, "Hey, you do that podcast?"
no. Tell the proper story.
No, we've told
Wait,
it before.
you look like someone.
Yeah, you look like someone famous. Do you do that Hardstyle podcast? It was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was hectic. I felt like Joe Rogan for a second. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
But yeah, look. I mean, these are the things that we really appreciate. Like,
Yeah.
to you guys, it's fucking huge, but for us, it's even bigger because
Yeah.
like it just shows that whatever we're doing, like someone actually likes it.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
surprising, but
And I mean, we're not at a size where like Warface
Yeah.
Rebellion. I think if they went to Amsterdam airport, they would get recognized, you know.
Yeah,
for
But
sure.
like you travel to the other side of the world and you're in an airport, you know, you just, you know, after a long night, you had 4 hours to sleep. You just want to get to the gate, get to your next place where you're
100%.
staying.
I'm surprised in Melbourne as well, of all
Yeah.
places. Like Sydney's like more like known, like home
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
harder
yeah.
styles and stuff. But like in Melbourne, that's pretty sick as well. Not gonna lie.
100%.
Well, it's also like a bit of a coincidence because if I was one lane further over, then the guy probably wouldn't have known me. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly right.
So, just before we move on, I want to go back to what you said at the beginning. You said you have a full-time job. So let's talk a bit about like your early life and what you actually do and stuff. So, take us through like what is your day job and
Yeah, so
yeah.
back in 2021, I graduated in economic sciences. And yeah, I've always been very interested in marketing because like marketing is just nowadays in everything, you know, like it's needed to grow your business in every way. Everything looks like most objects look like they've got like it's got a marketing background to it, and like it's just something I really like doing. So yeah, I started doing an internship, and then I hopped into a full-time job as like a business analyst. I really like working with numbers, but also doing like creative work. And yeah, like during my studies, I was also always in like I got more and more into hardstyle, which was like, well, I started listening to hardstyle back in 2015, 2016, around that time. And then at the beginning of 2019, I was just like full on hardstyle, just wasn't listening to anything else. It just caught my full attention. And that was when I also like tried to combine my marketing interests with hardstyle. And that's when I decided to start with Hardstyle as news.
Sweet, man. That's,
Yeah,
that's
so,
actually pretty sick.
So yeah, like you said, you've got that background now. Like, what was your intentions with Hardstyle and News? Like, how does someone go about creating a page about music and sharing content? Like, what was your ambition for it?
Well, back in the days, I didn't think too much. I didn't sit down and, you know, think of like a complete concept. I planned it out, everything. But I just thought, you know, I love this music. I want to share it. And I started very simple, you know. I just started like posting about releases, and the post back then they were really, really simple. But I don't know, back then not a lot of pages existed who did that, so it kind of caught in a way a niche. And yeah, people really liked it, you know. They wanted to hear about the new music, and I was getting to know more and more people, and they followed the page. They told their friends about it, and that's just how we kind of grew very fast. And yeah, like it took about maybe 6 months. Then the first event was at our door, and was like, hey, you want to have a collaboration? That's how you get the next idea. Hey, I can do more about events. And yeah, that's what I was kind of like, that's when I had the idea to, you know, go broad, you know, not just post about releases, post about events. Eventually, everyone know what do people do 95% of the times on Instagram? They want to see something funny. They scroll through reels or like funny content. So we started getting more into funny content, and that's just kind of like I went from there. I wouldn't say I planned it at the beginning, but like you just go with the flow. You see what works well. It's the same with, you know, as an artist, as doing tracks. You know, you have to see what works. You start with a track. You start with a style, and of course you kind of want to keep that style. For me, that's posting about the scene, posting about hardstyle. That's the content we post. But in that like area, I just try to vary as much as possible, and yeah.
Yeah, well, like you're doing a great job. You said you only started at 6 months and then started seeing growth and stuff like that. Now you've grown it up to a reputable. How much followers are you at now?
I think we're 47,000 followers.
Yeah, there you go. And that's like pretty reputable for someone who does it alone as well, which I found out.
Yeah.
You get help like here and there from like friends and stuff like that, which is awesome to see. But like for someone to do something alone and like, you can see you have a passion for it. And like, I can tell when we were playing music downstairs, every time this guy like hears a track, bro, he's kick rolling to everything. Like, it's awesome to see someone have a passion and like replicate it onwards. Like, it's awesome to see, man. Good on you.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I wanted to do. That's also what kind of started me getting into the DJing thing. Because I liked sharing music on Hardstyle as news, you know, making posts, going to events, sharing videos of other DJs playing. But, you know, each DJ designs their own set. I have no influence on that. And I've eventually thought it would be pretty cool, you know, to have my own kind of set, show my own, like, style of, like, what tracks I like. And that's how I kind of, like, decided to also start with Sonicz, because I just wanted people to, like, yeah, get a taste of the music I like. I think that's, yeah.
It's pretty cool that you can represent that.
100%, because I can relate to that too, because that's exactly why I started DJing too, because I wanted to represent the niche music that I liked that Australia didn't really know about, and then I went on about it by like...
Gearbox.
Yeah, basically. So it was when I discovered Gearbox just before I turned 18, I started going to events, and like a year into going to events, I was like, I want to listen to the music that I listen to at home at the places I go to. So I just like, you know what? Maybe I can give DJing a go. So one of my mates, Liam Savi, shout out to Savi, he bought a pair of decks, and we just went, used to go to his house and started learning how to DJ from him. And then pretty much I ended up getting my own, and just pretty much like live streaming on Facebook in my bedroom. And eventually, after multiple times and stuff like that, I spoke about this story so many times, where like how I got the booking, my first booking and stuff like that. And yeah, it's pretty much kicked off there. I used to always play the music that I wanted to always see be played in Australia. And eventually the artists that I like started to come to Australia too, because there was a few of us that used to push that certain sound. Yeah. Like 3-4 DJs, and we're just like, yep, this is what we like. And eventually people started to catch on, and yeah, that was the result, was all the boys that we really enjoy watching. And yeah, this pretty much, it's really crazy how like everyone started to come to Australia because simply we decided to push that sound.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think as a DJ, there's nothing more satisfying. I mean, that's why also you started as a DJ, because showing your track a friend, a new track, you know, and you see him pulling a face. Yeah, it's just, you know, you get that confirmation. And if you're at a gig with 600 people,
Oh yeah. Insert
Insert the
headphone
meme. Yeah, like
Yeah, and then you have 600 people there showing a new track. You know,
Yeah.
that's that was what was really sick. I brought like a lot of different ideas. I gathered ideas from mates here and there. I brought an own edit of Fuck Yeah from Tone Shifters and Code Black and Timmy Trumpet and Will Sparks, and I was like, yeah, the reaction on that was really good, and that's where you like, that's really just satisfying, you know, to show people new music, but it's on a bigger scale, you know. If I could,
100%. And it's like you're catering for a different crowd that you've never been to, so it's always good to have that one edit that is like country related in a way.
Yeah.
Because each place you go to, like you want to have something that the people that you're tapping into can relate to, which is really sick. Because I saw one of the slides, and that was one of the tracks you're talking about.
As well.
It's pretty good, man. Like. That's very smart.
Have you played
100%.
that song overseas?
No, it was like the premiere.
Yeah, okay, keep it in Australia. If I go overseas and start hearing Fuck Yes,
Yeah, keep it,
please keep it in Australia. We'll book you again in Australia, just leave it here.
Yeah, no, straight up, man. Like, if the Dutchies start Fuck Yeah,
And muzzing? Oh.
I'm not paying $3,000 to go to fucking Netherlands to hear Fuck Yes, please. Keep that shit in Belgium. But I would love to come and play in Belgium. So,
So, like, how would you say, like, because you're from Germany and stuff, you've started going to a lot more events in Germany, not just Netherlands. Would you say it's sort of the same as how we saw it in Australia, where people started pushing certain DJs and it grew like that? Or has Germany always played a big part in the hardstyle scene and, like, always had these high caliber DJs?
Well, to be fair, like, I don't exactly know how it was like before the days I was listening to hardstyle.
Yeah.
If I go, for example, to a hardcore event, like, there are many older people as well who have been listening to hardcore for a long time. But, like, hardstyle has gotten so, like, broad, you know, so many different styles, so many different artists. And I feel as if, like, from the moment where I got in the scene, like, back then it was, like, depending on where you go in Germany. So I'm from southern Germany. Back then it was still very comparable to, like, how could I describe it? It's probably like you only had it was only like you could only book if you wanted to have a sold out event or something like that. It would be best to book a Headhunters, book the Tweakers. Well, in the Netherlands you have so many events with upcoming DJs and it's filled up because people know the tracks. But like if you're in southern Germany, you know, you see only like the biggest artists, because I think it's of course also like booking fee wise, it's always a big of an issue because you have to pay a flight and everything in the Netherlands, you know. The artist can just drive for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour or wherever they have to go. But you see Musical Madness pushing that a lot as well. Like they had just had down in Stuttgart, so that's where my parents are based as well, in that area. They had a Raw event with a Just, Mish, a version. Yeah, I think a version was there. Sorry if I'm wrong, but I know Mish and Adjust were playing there for sure. Yeah. And that's cool to see because a few years ago you got Disturb. I mean, he was big then already. I mean, I love Disturb, but like it's nice to see also smaller artists getting the chance in that area, you know?
Yeah, like that second tier. It's not just a big name.
Yeah, and a friend of mine, he's doing events in Munich. He's frequently just focusing on raw artists. So he got the Strikers, he got Diesel. Diesel played the first gig ever in Germany at that event, so that was really cool. Okay. And yeah, it's nice to see, you know, just getting different kind of artists down there because it's nice to have a change.
Oh, that's good. So you can see sort of like everything.
You can see a transition also up in Hamburg. You know, there's another event coming up with a version Dual Damage, so that's pretty cool. It's just like spreading over Germany. Well, you know,
maybe we should send you to Germany.
Huh? Yeah, get TOZA to Germany.
Hey man, my inbox is open, so I'm more than happy to play.
Slide in his DMs.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, I'm really grateful to all the opportunities I'm getting, and whatever comes, man. I'm here. I'm going nowhere, so.
You're going nowhere, bro.
That was you're not gonna make it, bro.
Sorry, you're not gonna make it, bro. Throwback to an early episode.
But yeah, look, man, it's good to see you have a different view of hardstyle than what we have here. So, do you think there's a big difference between European crowds when you go to like an event in Netherlands or an event in Germany any other European countries? Because you've played around Europe, right? Not just Netherlands and Germany, yeah?
No, so far it's only Netherlands and Germany.
Shit,
But I've
okay.
been to events in Belgium. I've been to events in Switzerland because I live close to the Swiss border.
Yeah.
And crowd-wise, it's hard to like see if there's a huge difference. Because like I've been in the crowd, but back then I was also like a bit of a still a fresher, and Hardstyle Sonicz got me going up pretty. And I was fresh in the scene, you know, like I was just focusing on the music. I didn't like. I mean, the crowd is always very dedicated for the artists they come for, Hardstyle Sonicz got me like going to film artists very fast. So if I'm there, I usually just focus a little bit more on the artist. I would say crowd-wise, they're just. You see a lot of similar people, for instance, in Switzerland, or if you go to like back when I went to my first Musical Madness events in southern Germany, because the crowd it's still not that. Or back then it wasn't that. Well known, and you did see the same people at if you go to Boots House, for instance, you always see new faces.
That Boots House looks fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
Bro, he was
100%.
telling
What a
me-
club, man. Holy shit.
Do you know what? He was telling me earlier today in the car. Do you know how much the sound system cost there?
Something around 100K or so.
100,000 euros.
It's one of the best speakers in the world.
Bro, I don't think plugs. I reckon loops would help in that place. I reckon loops would be like.
minus
No,
18
but
dBs
but
is
the
a
thing
lot.
is, it's such a good sound system that
It's
your
clear.
ears don't start to bleed.
Nah,
Yeah,
yeah, my tinnitus wouldn't handle it. No chance.
Well,
I'll
I
be-
mean, I'm still yet to have an event line up when we're in Europe, or we can drive to Germany and go to Boots House, man. That's
Yeah, 100%. But that's not going to be
Maybe.
a problem, because here, for example, if you've got a gig in Melbourne, you can't drive. But if you can drive,
just
but just to play an hour, you don't want a 10-hour there and 10-hour
Yeah,
back.
it's
No,
not
you
worth
don't
it.
want that. But if you're, let's say, you fly to Amsterdam and you got a booking in, let's say, Eindhoven, for instance, from there to Cologne, it's. I don't know, maybe 1.5 hours or so. So
drive.
Most artists who play at Boats House, unless they have got maybe a gig from 5 to 6, if it's like a early gig, like you play from 11 till 12, you could easily drive back.
Far out.
Yeah, like Netherlands is literally one highway.
Yeah.
Just one straight highway, and you just like.
We've got
Spread
10.
it
Fucking
And in
M4,
Germany,
M4.
you get into Germany from the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
you've got a very populated area. You've got massive cities like Dortmund, Cologne.
Yeah.
And it's such a well-built infrastructure.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be facing huge traffic jams, but if you've got a night booking, at 1 a.m, there's usually not traffic jams, so you can easily just
Your traffic's
go.
nothing compared to Sydney
Yeah,
traffic.
trust me, man.
European traffic is.
Yeah, especially Sydney, it's horrible.
Oh man.
But yeah, like, just before, we were talking about a bit of your early life. So, what got you into hardstyle, and like when did you start listening to hardstyle?
I was getting more and more into electronic music in 2013, 14.
So how old you were then? Like how old are you now? And
I
how
am
old
now 25, so back then I must have been. Well, I started listening to more electronic music back in 2014 on my trip to New Zealand. I did like a student exchange, and I was a lot into gaming back then as well.
So you were like about 17.
Yeah, I was just a normal average team playing Minecraft, Call of Duty, FIFA. And
Why are you describing me?
yeah, and then you're watching YouTube.
No, not today, man.
you watch YouTube. You got the gamers, and they put in like the trap drops and the dubstep drops.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
was my start with electronic
Yeah,
music.
no, I definitely know all the montages and stuff.
Yeah, Monster Cat.
Yeah.
And then I found some stuff from Rehab and Martin Garrix, so I got more into more of the electronic EDM stuff. Big Room was always like my favorite. I like the like it's not like they're melodic EDM drums, but I think Big Room is just like a bit harder,
Yeah, like W&W.
Your W&W, just like more
Bigfoot and
jumpy
stuff.
tracks and
Yeah.
everything, exactly. And then I think, I turned 18 and my mates gave me a ticket for Big City Beats Festival in Frankfurt, which is like a massive event. I think 125,000
Is that the one in the
visitors.
stadium?
It's the one in the Frankfurt Stadium.
Yeah, I've seen videos from there.
and they
Sick.
had a Q-dance. They used to have a Q-dance stage there.
Huh?
Nowadays they have a zombie stage. It's called. That's like the hardstyle stage. But
Yeah.
back then they actually had a proper Q-dance stage.
Damn.
Wow.
Oh, fine. I never knew
And
that.
I listened. I was standing in the back. I knew some jump style tracks I listened to 2 or 3 jump style tracks, and I was like, oh yeah, this is kind of, you know, that what I was listening to find on YouTube like 2 years back, the kind of style. And I was like, this is nice. And my mate recorded like a video. I was trying to shuffle. Like I couldn't shuffle. I can't do it now, but I was just trying to like dance to the music. And I was listening to the video, and in the background there was like a really nice melody. And so I downloaded like a Hardstyle Top 50 plays for 2015 or something like that. And I was on the bus, not minding anything, and all of a sudden I found that track I had in that video, and it was Supersonic by Demi Cannon.
Wow.
And that was like the moment I was so happy to find that track, and then I was just listening to like the whole playlist, and I got more and more and more into it. And then 2018, I started my studies, so I didn't have any money for festivals. So I was still listening to a lot of music, but just festivals weren't happening too much yet. And 2018 we went to New Horizons. Also like a multi-genre festival, and I had a lot of artists I wanted to see, but in the end I just completely stayed on the hardstyle stage. I got there, and it was 30 degrees, sun's out, and then Wasted Penguins was the first set, you know, that nice melodic stuff, and that just did it. After that, I was following Atmospheres on Spotify. I saw Atmospheres was one insane set. And after that festival, I just went home. I followed all the artists on Instagram. I followed all their stuff. And that's where I would just really dove into the hardstyle scene.
Well, what a thing to get into, but honestly, like imagine like Wasted Penguins 2015, Atmospheres, like there's some golden years for like really
insane.
good music.
It's crazy to see how the music has shifted in a way where like, you know, like, no one really knows this, but we all started listening to like
Euphoric.
like
Euphoric.
the guys that are really big, you know, like Atmospheres, Audio Tricks,
Everyone, Max and Forza.
The Tweakers.
The Tweakers
like,
even,
you know, we say that we don't listen to them now, but like we all started listening to them. Headhunters, Wild Styles, Noise Controllers, all the good stuff.
Everyone.
From like I started listening to hardstyle when I was 2012.
Yeah.
I was in high school, year 8, and pretty much like. Yeah, the love for hardstyle was just born back then, but we didn't have all the music we're listening to now. So it's just crazy to see like the past 11 years, like the music has shifted so much. But people will always like, if you're an artist and you have a crowd that's going to shift somewhere else, like don't be disheartened, because you got to understand that you started their love for hardstyle.
It's
because some artists, like some people move on to other artists and their taste change, that doesn't mean the artist should feel disheartened.
No.
It's either the artist should change or should just stay true to their
And the
roots.
music is still out there. That's the thing, you know. Like
100%,
today,
yeah.
I walked to Bondi Beach. It was beautiful weather, so I was just feeling some euphoric. I was listening to some Code Black stuff. I love him, by the way. Shout out to Corey, the Australian
Legend.
And I love, like, people are also on social media. They're complaining so much about where the scene is heading, and it's an evolving scene. You know, if everything stays the same for so many years, you're gonna get bored out of it. And 100%. I think it's very exciting what is happening, and people shouldn't be like hating about it, because the music's, it's not like, you know, it's not a release that stays on Spotify for a year and then you're forced to listen to all the new styles. You can still, like, I have my playlist with 2014, 2016, the golden era of Euphoric. I still listen to that on a daily basis. It's just not maybe their new stuff I'm listening to, because I focus on, but like new release wise, maybe I listen to that artist because I've got him on the radar, I've got that artist on the radar. But
like you said, look, the music is forever evolving, right? And then you also mentioned that people complain a lot. But the thing is, like, the people that complain a lot, you do realize that the artists that you guys like are still out there playing gigs, still making music, still doing things. So you can still go and support them and show them that you are still there and they can still make their same music that you guys really like.
Yeah, and for instance, also in the Netherlands, they're hosting events like Früher was alles better or something like that. And I saw videos, you know, Adrenalize, Code Black, they're playing their old... I just got goosebumps.
Yeah, Headhunters play like a Scantrack set. And like you see it more often now, you're seeing classic sets. Like even the Shockers, they're doing like the classics, like everyone, like... E-Force is doing classics, like Warface is doing an Art of War set and stuff like that. Granted, it's like more raw and stuff, but there's this big push for classic sets now. And the funniest part is, like, even I say it now, like, I'm like, I want a Deadly Guns classic set, but that's only 2016, 17.
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine, like, we get, like, all the DEFCON videos, you got B Frontliner, you had like Max Enforcer, Wasted Penguins, like all these old school sets. Like there's like a big push for classics now.
And look, there is everything there's a lot of things for everyone, like all the time. Like just because big festivals like jump on the new trends and they follow a certain direction, but they're still catering for you in different like stages. Not just that, like I was, in January, I went to Netherlands for, exclusive, and the same day there was Reactivate, which is an event run by Rebirth, and it was full classics. They had the main stage had like Frontliner, noise controllers,
Thera.
and then they had Theracords hosting on the second stage, which was like old school Kane, Digos and Redon, like all the DJ Thera, all the like the old school, Gecko was playing too. It was crazy, man. Like just like seeing people like we pretty much grew up watching, still playing those mad tunes. And another event just got announced, which is like I think it's Origins of Raw.
Origins of Raw. Yeah,
man.
Is that the Shockers one?
No. It's like Art of War, Warface, Live Set. Fucking, there's so much like classics.
Yeah. I think that's the Shockers. It's the Origin of War thing.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's like Shockers presents Origins of.
To be fair, if I wanted to see, if I could choose a set to happen there, it would be Warforce.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
We talked about that today.
Yeah.
And we were both Warforce.
Yeah.
If that came back, that
Bro,
would be just...
dropping bombs, devastated, decapitated. Oh, bro, please. That was.
Constipated?
Bro, that was honestly one of the best, like. We were talking about this as well, like events, man. Like when they're so big and grand, he said he missed out on hard bass, and I was like, that would have been awesome to see.
Yeah.
And I said they're thinking about bringing it back. But I think we've spoken about this as well. Having that niche of it happening only once or twice or ending makes it just that little bit more
Special.
like special.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, exactly right. Like
100%.
I know with Supremacy, like. If you guys missed out on Supremacy and you were able to go, you guys missed out big time. Like that was some of the like craziest things ever. The lineups they brought out, like Oz Supreme, we got to see aggressive acts, like Deadly Guns debut there as well.
Yeah,
like,
having Regain, Disturb,
like everyone, man, like
Crazy
Radical,
like
like
Warface, Radical,
minus Militia. Then we had the Massive Hardcore takeover.
Yeah.
Like
it pretty much felt like we had our own Dutch Supreme. Like
it was Art of Dance brought it over, which
Yeah.
like. I just feel like when we have these events, and we're also talking about this when it moves on as well, like these events that get brought over from overseas is so mad, and like I can imagine overseas as well, like these one-off events makes it feel better. But then I look into it and I was telling him, bro, like HSU, like what they do and stuff with bringing out Showtech, the journey, like you got Malice and Wooler coming up now and you had Headhunters and Wild Styles, like HSU are actually picking up like so much slack and like giving so much. Like how many artists have we spoken to that are so excited to see Showtech?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like Aversion was tripping out.
A lot of the artists that are on the lineup that are actually like
hyped to
as
see
excited as playing.
Yeah.
Just to like they're as excited as playing to see Showtech. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And honestly, like Knockout has a really big raw lineup. Like it's actually crazy how big it is. And that Pit 2.0, the way they described it in the description, it's going to be bigger, it's going to be open air, and like I cannot wait to see how stacked that Pit lineup is, to the point I don't think I'm going to move from there, to be honest. Like I'll probably just pop to main stage to watch Showtech.
Yeah.
And then after that, back to the Pit.
Yeah, 100%.
Like from the beginning to the end, I'll be in the crowd, losing my shit, probably shirt off, sweating my ass off.
Sorry, I'm just searching something up just because I've seen this today as well. HSU.
So, which set are you most hyped for? Like on the Raw stage?
Honestly, like
You're on.
no. Besides that, look, we'll get to that another time. But for me, I like to speak about other people on this podcast. I don't really talk about myself, but mainly Imperators for sure, 100%. Because like Kevin's my boy, right? But seeing him on a big stage in my home soil,
Yeah.
it's gonna be sick.
Yeah, like
100%.
like the smaller artists or like the second tier, not like your D blocks and your like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Like the guys we've seen play smaller stages for like 300, 400 people, and
Yeah.
like they've worked so hard in the scene. Like we're like, you guys deserve a big audience. And like
100%.
speaking to a version the other day, I was like, man, like it was so good having you here, but I can't wait for you to
Yeah.
have that
100%,
crowd.
and you know they've had it already in the Netherlands at Def Conference,
it just hits differently.
and they've showed like they're able to play one hell of a show, and they put so much energy into it, so much work and effort into it,
100%,
and being
man.
able to replicate this on the other side of the world. I
Yeah,
think that's
100%
gonna
for
be
sure.
huge.
And that's why I think this lineup for me is very special because it's got people I really listen to all the time, people I'm good friends with, and like just some of the boys that like play a big part of my success too. Because
100%.
then and there, I look up to people.
I'm not on the lineup.
Everyone, I look down on you, but I'm
Cuz.
joking. I love you. This guy is fucking one of the biggest parts of my success.
Hey, yo.
My beanie.
You guys want to hold hands?
Yeah. But
Lovely.
seriously, man, honestly, if I'm being honest, yeah, it's just
Anyway.
it's crazy. It's actually
Anyways.
crazy to see all the boys that are on the lineup, like up and comers, really established artists, and yeah, it's everything that I really would love to see in Australia.
No.
In one
Two more
lineup.
things. The funny story after the podcast with Till, Jannik was actually with us. He straight away after the podcast finished, he's like, I actually know Odium. So
Yeah.
we're full teeing it up. We'll see what we can do there. Hopefully
Yeah, we'll try and
Something
tee up
happens
something for Till.
we'll try
100%.
to tee up something for
So
Till.
maybe, hey, you know what? Let's play the spam game because
Yeah,
it's pretty
let's
funny.
message Odium.
Go and message Odium right now and be like, hey, we've got a very, very talented vocalist from Australia that
Reply.
we really would like you to have her featured on one of your tracks.
And premiere it at Knockout.
So the TSDU army,
TSDU
this is what
army.
we're going to call you guys from now on.
No,
so
the-
the
yeah.
TSDU army, attack. Straight to Odium's Instagram.
Slide in his DMs and
And then
send
just
the bro
link
message.
Teal's profile, tag him in your stories, tell him, hey, when
Yeah,
you
just
come...
keep commenting on any post Till.
And
Till,
look, we
Till.
can provide the studio for this to happen. If he says yes, which I think he will, he has no option.
He's also a very cool guy.
We can tee up a studio for him and Till to work on and have the vocals done, maybe even put a draft track for them. And honestly, we just want to see her succeed because
she's so
she deserves a
talented.
lot more than what she's getting now. And we want to see more homegrown talent actually grow and represent Australia because at the end of the day, we want to evolve the scene.
Hey, yo. Going
Evolve.
back to it, also, sorry, just the last thing I wanted to touch on. Sorry, no. Oops. But also, HSU Chile just announced another event.
Oh shit, yeah.
Deadly Guns. He's doing a
Dude,
boiler
hey,
room.
it's a boiler room.
It's a boiler room.
no
Deadly
way.
Guns.
Dude,
are we going
how-
to Chile? When is it? I just checked it
It's
now.
it's the weekend after Decibel.
Yeah, so get
No,
there.
it's
So-
the weekend.
It's the weekend after Decibel. So how much flights to Chile from Netherlands? How far is Chile from Netherlands?
Oh, bro, you're going to be flying for probably like 17, 18 hours or something. I don't know.
Worth it,
It's
worth
not
it.
as far as to
Worth it.
Australia, but I would say, yeah, you'll probably be facing something
Hey, we'll look
15
into it. We'll
plus
look into it.
hours or something.
Hey, maybe
like
we'll start a GoFundMe if you want to see us.
yeah, bro, please.
If you want to see us
that.
go
Yeah,
to
go
Chile.
fund him. He's a huge Deadly Guns fan, so make his dream
Yeah.
come true.
Yeah. You seen all my posters and everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Dude, seriously, we'll talk about this after.
You can
Oh,
ask-
okay.
Maybe we should consider it.
Okay, all right.
Ask Brendan Hart if you can use his private jet.
Jesus.
Hey, we're gonna be in the Netherlands. Let's if Brendan Hart has a private jet and he's flying, we'll just be like, hey,
Hey, bro.
hey, bro, hitchhike.
I'm Hardstyle, please.
Yeah, please. Hey,
You can come on our podcast.
yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. No, we actually had Tone Shifters on the podcast as well.
Yeah, so
he
he
hasn't
should-
been on like his one yet again. Like they haven't done a new one, but I'm hoping he mentions us. It would be cute.
That'd be really cute.
I don't think it'd happen.
I mean, look, if it does, that's hectic. If it's not, anyways.
Anyways,
Yeah, just before we keep rambling and go on of a tantrum like we always do. So we know that you are Sonicz now, but what were you before Sonicz? You mentioned to us privately that you did have a different alias, so
Shadows.
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 No.
Oh, Sonic and Shadow.
No.
And instead of Teals, it's Tails.
Damn.
Sonics and Tails. Let's do it.
You can be Knuckles.
I spit on the queen.
Sorry.
Well, last year I was with a friend. We were doing a bit. It started as a hobby, but we got booked into a few local like dance bars. We were playing EDM and hardstyle. It was fun. It was really cool also to be with a mate, always be on the stage together. You know, one could look into, you know, kind of cheering up the crowd, while the other one was focusing on the mixing and everything. But yeah, towards the end of last year, I was just, you know, I want to play 100% what I want to play, and that is raw style. It's most fun for me to mix and everything. So yeah, that's why I decided to kind of leave the duo in a way, and yeah, just professionalize my raw act in a way.
Nice.
Dude, he's so on point with his music and stuff. He's got some cracked edits. Bro, the age of SoundCloud producers is taking over like SoundCloud rappers. Like, check out my mixtape. Bro, check out my edits from this guy. Bro, and your edit now of Supersonic Superstar?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, and also really cool shout out to Firelight. He played my once again bootleg at Night Vision. Then I joined him on stage, so that was pretty cool. And people came up to me after and was like, "Hey, wait, this is your edit, so cool. Thank you or like cool to hear it and everything." And I was like, "Thanks, guys."
It's good, man.
Do you like the Aussies?
Oh, they're so nice and welcoming. It's like I notice like people, even if I go to a cafe, you know, I just want like my intention at a cafe is to order coffee, you know, but like the lady still there asks me, "Hey, how are you doing? How are you?" You know, they greet you very nice. They're just very polite. In Germany, you know, you go in like this often said at a supermarket.
Yeah,
right,
just in and out.
Go out. Like there's
I feel like it's like a foreigner thing. I think because the same thing. Like we hear the same thing about like Europeans, but when we go and they hear the accent, they're like, "Oh, like hey, you're not from here. We're gonna treat you a little bit better."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
I
kind
think
of
it
like
depends. Like I know in Croatia,
it depends. Like I've also had like I've gone overseas. Like I've gone to like a different country in Europe, and like yeah, just on average, I would say the people are here much more polite.
Yeah,
much
I know in Croatia
100%.
personally, they don't like tourists. That
No,
much.
like
Yeah.
exactly. It's I don't even know. It's not they don't like tourists, but like it doesn't matter if you speak English or if you speak French or if you're from there, you know, whatsoever. There's just some like I don't know what it is, but like people in Germany just seem a little bit more rude, you know. And you really notice that because I've talked to people. I've met backpackers here, like from Germany. And they all kind of agree in a way that people are just much nicer. So I don't know if they're just treating us well because we're foreigners, but
yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things where like when we go to festivals, for example, and like the crowd, they see us with like an Aussie flag or something. You know, they're like, "Oh shit," you know.
But that's the hardest sell.
Because the thing is, like, let's say I had no Aussie flag and I looked really, really dodgy, they'll think I'm one of those like Arabs in Europe who sell drugs and shit like that. But as soon as the Aussie flag comes out, they're like, "Oh shit, you're from Australia. You came all the way for this."
Australia, why you come so far? Why you come far?
Can you sell me kangaroo?
Yeah. Oh, you know, what are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And then you tell them, "Oh, like it's not my first time here, man. I've been here so many times, and I get the same questions all the time." It's like, but it's good. They're very welcoming. Like,
but that's also the scene. And in the Netherlands, they're also. I think it's also a very, very nice community. I would say.
Awesome people.
So, what are the future plans for Sonicz?
Well, get back to Germany, start doing more work on music, get some collabs going. So far I'm only on SoundCloud, sadly. I want to get the first Spotify release out. Just trying to time when's the right moment to do so. Thinking maybe around Supremacy would be pretty solid because you got a lot of hype in the rule scene in general. Yeah, definitely finish this year, mate, with 2-3 releases. You know, have a little bit of a Spotify profile going. 100%. Definitely continue to do my Sonicz boom mixes. Those are going really well. I don't know how frequently I'm going to do them in the future because if bookings do start getting more and more, I won't have like. It's also, you know, nice to get, like, I think Sonicz Boom is something, people came up to me also in the Netherlands saying, "Hey, when's the next Sonicz Boom coming?" Which is really nice feedback.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, if you have more bookings, you like to focus on these, and then also have the people come to your bookings and keep your sets a bit more exclusive, if you know what I mean. You know, if I upload a monthly mix, you know, they can just listen to my set. You know, they don't have to come to my sets anymore. So
Exactly right.
I want to keep doing that, but probably not with a high frequency. Maybe every 2-3 months only instead of each month. It's a nice way to, you know, give the also like to support other artists in your mixes, because you know it's a bit like Hardstyle News release art out, but just put into a mix. But yeah, mainly focus, also lay more focus on music, get that going.
Yeah, because we have something similar like that. It's called Revelations, and MC Pez is the one that runs it.
Yeah,
The guy who stacked it.
The guy, check out the video on
go on Hardstyle News, check it out.
And fell off the stage, mate.
Oh no!
And I fell off the stage again.
No, you did not.
Yeah. That was probably my most embarrassing moment.
We have our latest victim, and this one is probably the best.
So yeah, he does the same thing. You know, he just wants to support talent, mostly like homegrown. But if there are some times where like he doesn't have enough music to cover the full mix with Aussies, he will go into like some of our favorite artists from the Netherlands, and I think it's a very cool way to showcase those people that don't get a chance to be showcased.
So I should Dropbox my new bootleg to him.
Pretty much, yes.
Dropbox it before he drops.
Yes,
Fourth
pretty much.
time.
So whatever you have, man, just send it to him. He'll showcase it for you. And if you're sitting at home, you're a producer, and you have something that you want to showcase, and you're sort of not sure what to do and what's the next step, your next step, I'll tell you right now. Step 1, message Pez. Step 2, send him your new music and new edits and anything really with your name on it that will showcase you and put you on the map.
Yeah, also send it to me if I do a monthly mix or like a new Sonicz Boom mix.
There you go.
You have the chance to get featured on that. So yeah, and those are going well. The third edition hit 30K the other week after a month.
Yeah,
that's
that's
just
sick,
pretty
man.
sick.
That's sick.
So
That's good, man. That's really good reach, man. And honestly, like, it's good to see that someone is up and coming, and your growth is actually pretty insane. Like, if you're saying like you've started beginning of the year, you're already at like 4,300.
yeah,
followers.
I didn't completely build up the account from zero. I had my private account before that, but I've seen massive growth, and also like SoundCloud at like 700 followers after creating my SoundCloud account like 4 months ago. So that's pretty cool.
That's
as
good,
well.
man. Yeah, 100%. Look, as long as you keep doing and you keep releasing, you will get followers.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's either one thing will get you like 3 followers, but still 3 followers you didn't have. Or it's gonna get you like 500 followers.
Yeah,
you know
but
what
not
I mean?
but not keep releasing in a way, you know, you have
like,
to drop a track every second week or something.
Don't oversaturate it. But what I was saying is like, once you are like, what I was trying to get to is like being active is what you need to be.
Yeah,
like.
and that's what also
It doesn't have to be dropping like a mix or a track. Could be dropping a story. Could be dropping
100%.
a post, a photo, whatever. Your latest gig, upcoming gigs, some promotion here and there. It's like you have endless content.
Be active.
That's
and
right.
also I have a good mate of mine. They're really, I know a duo. They're very well from Hamburg, and they're doing really, really well. One hand, they were signed with W&W label, you know. So they're also like trying. Their whole concept is very interesting because they're trying to combine hardstyle, trance, and big room, which is really cool. But he also said to me, you know, and I think that's also very good advice. What they've got like 80K now on Instagram, but they still engage with every try to engage with every comment. They like try to answer every DM. So like engage with your followers, you know. I think that's also very cool.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, we just got fucking World War III
Little
happening.
technical issues.
Technical
for a second.
issues.
Just so what that.
So look, like I said, man, I think the more effort you put into your branding, the more you get out of it. So like I said, everyone is seeing growth, but they see the results of the growth.
Yeah.
They don't see what's happening within the growth stage.
Exactly.
Like instead of analyzing that you're getting that many likes or you're getting that many gigs or this and that, like, well, what are you doing to get that? Because a lot of people ask like, hey, what's like how do I start? What's the best thing? Whatever. And I always tell them the same thing. You got to work on 3 things. It's 1 is your branding, 2 your social media, and 3 is your music. So those 3 things tied together. If you can nail it in a way where like they all work really well together, you will reap the benefits out of it, and that's how you're gonna start seeing results.
100%. And I think there's so many talented producers out there, but they're just struggling to get music out there because they whip out 3 tracks, 4 tracks. You know, they're insane. And first of all, you need to market these tracks, you know, to get them out there. But like even if these tracks are going well, you know, it's. And for example, you have a phase, let's say for 4 months where you just don't find the inspiration, then find your inspiration somewhere else. Be active on social media, do a Q&A, you know, engage with the people. They don't necessarily need to have 12 releases from you every year or monthly, but I think it's also nice to, you know, like you have to treat every component of being an artist. And nowadays it's, you know, like you said, you've got the branding, you've got the social media, and you've got music, obviously. But yeah, if you're lacking inspiration, for instance, then just work on your social media, for instst. You know,
100%,
like,
man, and that's very important. Like your image is what gets you where you need to get.
Exactly.
I'm concentrating not to fart so bad.
I was wondering why you went crying.
I'm so sorry.
Just rip it.
Yeah, if you don't have any inspiration, sample this. I was holding that in for so long. Sorry. I didn't want to. There you go. Sample that, bro. Oh, sorry.
Bro, so now there are PVC kicks, there's the bell kick, and there's the Hardstyle kick.
No, it's the VUKZ kick.
The VUKZ kick.
Bro, someone please send the keys spell that.
Imagine someone clips this. Yeah, this is a TikTok idea for you, producer.
Yeah.
Clip this TikTok. Clip this podcast. Make the kick out of it, and then tag VUKZ in it.
Yeah, tag me.
And you won't get anywhere.
What do you mean, bro? Are you serious? This is gonna make
1 million hit TikTok incoming. Bro, hey, Mazza, if you're watching.
Yeah, Mazza, bro. Sorry, bro.
All good. I love it. So not the smell, though.
So I got my nose blocked, man. I don't give a fuck. So you've played quite a few gigs so far, man. So what was your favorite gig that you've played so far?
I'm going to say honestly, Australia.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was, you know, in Netherlands or in Germany, I've been mostly playing more of support, you know, but like Australia was the actual headliner, so that was like my first headliner show. So that's of course huge. It was on the other side of the world. It was also, you know, it was also like the set I most prepared for because I was really like I messaged some artists here in Australia asking like, hey, what should I play? Or also talk to the event organizers, just like giving my ideas and like I was also a little bit skeptical. I was thinking maybe I should go more towards, you know, like Ruler, Sigma, stuff that people know. But in the end, like I did decide, like I gathered a lot of new music. We got three, 4 of my edits, and I just decided to, you know, stick to my style in a way, and it was just so satisfying to see it work as well.
100%, man, and I can relate again. I can relate to that because I had the same feeling in Perth when I played. Because obviously I've never been to Perth. I don't know many people from Perth. I know like a few friends that I know from there. And I was actually very, very nervous for my gig. And
I'm not.
I thought he was about to fart again.
I farted once, I'm alright.
So, and obviously, like, I like to go to events early. I don't like to just go play and leave, you know?
Nah.
I just like, I'll go check out the crowd, analyze a little bit, see how they react to certain things, certain kicks, certain drops. And I'm just like, fuck, this is so hard to read. I was like, man, like I don't understand this crowd. And I started to actually get nervous. For the first time in a very long time, I actually got nervous for a gig.
Aww.
Like, I'm telling you, man, it was very, very nerve-wracking to the point where like I actually hit the cue button while I was DJing. the first couple of tracks, I ended up, like I was so hyped up and I wasn't focusing and boom, music went down. And
that's the worst thing that can happen
100%,
as a DJ.
but look, it is what it is.
But
I still had a great time,
bro.
and I still had people messaging saying, man, like, come back, please. Like, well, I won't get.
They
to it,
don't care too much about. Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You know, you're thinking, but I don't want to make a mistake. You know, you're DJing, you're performing. You want to have, you know, It's the same as a singer. If you all of a sudden you have a voice crack, of course it's not. It's it's unfortunate, but you know, I think if you don't make the cleanest transition, people are not going to notice it.
Only the elitists.
Like, look, I won't name names, but some of the biggest fucking DJs in the world are horrible mixing.
Yeah, I've gotten more and more, like, since I got more and more to mixing. Like, I started really with DJing. When was it? Like, I started learning a lot in 2019. And back, like, after, you know, knowing the basics and kind of knowing how transitions work, you start to pay more and more attention to it. And then you see that this happens more frequently. But, like, many people that I, for example, watch the sets with, they wouldn't have noticed. Like,
sometimes you can pick it up.
Yeah.
So you've loved
100%.
Australia, huh?
I've loved Australia so much. It's been really fun so far.
So what's upcoming now? What gigs do you have coming up, lined up?
Well, I'm going back to Germany next weekend, and then I am gonna prepare a set for a Rossiland festival. That's the timetable's not out yet. I don't know when you're posting this podcast, but I will be closing the boat rave with Cryx, Unresolved, and with Unproven. So that's gonna be pretty
closing
cool.
after Unproven.
No. Unproven's playing on the up-tempo stage. They've got two stages there, and I'm playing, but the main stage is Hardstyle Rule. And yeah, I've got the honor to play. And that's gonna be cool because playing after Cryx and Unresolved, you can just basically play anything. So it's edit time again. Lekker klaplongen.
So that's in Germany, you said?
That's in Germany, that's in
sick.
Hamburg, which is also, it's the second biggest city in Germany. It's a cool opportunity to play there. It's like really like Hamburg harbors where like the boat starts. It's one of the biggest harbors. So it's going to be a very scenic gig as well. The boat's sold out, so that's pretty cool. Then I'm playing at, that's going to be also a booking I'm really hyped for, but also a bit nervous in a way because it's like a EDM festival. It's like during the day it's house, then it goes more towards big room, and then you've got I think one or two hardstyle acts before me, and I'm playing a raw closing. I'm closing the main stage. It's like playing in front of 1,000 people, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I'm not going to be able to play the set I usually play because you've got a
different crowd.
So I was thinking about maybe doing some, like a bit of like a journey through Raw, maybe like kind of because you know you want to get these people into Raw. So I thought like go back and do it like how I did. So I was thinking about maybe going back to the 2018, you know, some Warface Disturb melodic stuff in that kind of way,
Titan.
and then just you know towards the end progress. Then
Up tempo.
I'm gonna close with up tempo, 100%. My friend played there last year. It was a bit small back then, but he played I think Side Effects as his last track, and people liked it. Yeah, I'm gonna play. I know which one I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play this the Creed's Push Up Scarface edit.
That's a good track.
Yeah, that's a good one because people know the melody. You know, even if you don't know the official track, if you go to an EDM festival, you've seen a TikTok with that track, so they're gonna pick up on it. But yeah, it's just gonna be a very like because I'm gonna start with raw phoric probably. I'm not gonna play. I'm. It's just you know I want to stick to my Sonic style anyway, so I'm not going into playing euphoric
Awesome.
No, 100%. It's good to stick to your roots, but in a way where you can still cater for the crowd you're playing.
Exactly.
For.
So yeah, you know I think like stuff from maybe the synchronized album is gonna work quite well.
Well, TOZA doesn't know this, and this was very last second, so we couldn't get too much. But we're going back to one of TOZA's favorite segments that he got to name. What's your culture?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he tried El Jana before.
Oh.
Yeah. How'd you
How
like
was it?
the Lebanese, the chicken?
Oh, it was so tasty.
Yeah, you liked
so
it?
good. Yeah, I like. That's what I love in
What time do they
Australia.
close
It's
at?
a multicultural food.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. We've got a couple other things for you to try. Nothing too bad, but I was trying to get it as much as possible, but I've been busy all day. So if you want to hand them over, what's that? Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Robina.
Right. So
I don't know. Have you ever tried this?
no, I haven't.
All right. So that's Ribena. That's like
Yeah.
our. I don't know how to explain it. What's Ribena for? Like to
Is it grape juice?
Yeah, it's
Is it?
black
Yeah, it
currant.
says black currant.
Yeah. So give that a try. Let us know what you think. This is what we used to have as kids.
Delightful. Yeah, it's
good,
really
yeah.
really nice.
All right, next one. And we forgot about this one on the version podcast, and everyone said it. Everyone was like, "Oh, you didn't do shapes. You didn't do shapes." So we got shapes. We got the best flavor.
Pizza flavor, nice. Because I went to New Zealand and they had.
Sorry, I'm hungry.
They had shapes as well,
you try
but they had the ones with the like cheese flavor.
Oh, no.
And I'm not a cheese fan.
Yeah, you'll tell me.
Good shit. Please tell me you brought Vegemite.
No, I was trying to find Vegemite.
Alright, guys, you're not seeing this box anymore. I'm just kidding.
No, take him. But give Toza a couple.
Thank you for the gift.
No worries. And the last one, as always,
Oh man, I'm sorry, boys. I'm being rude, but fuck.
Tim
me.
Tams. Have you tried Tim Tams yet?
Oh, I'm trying to think.
They're like Kinder Bueno penguins. What the? No, don't do it. No.
Insane.
You like them?
Yeah.
You like penguins, yeah?
And last but not least, Tim Tams with hot sauce.
No,
If you watch the Red Hot episode,
No, don't do it to him, please.
this is what destroyed this.
We
guy.
don't even have milk. We only have chocolate milk.
Yeah, that's milk.
No, don't do it to
You
him.
want to try it?
It's really hot.
No.
Don't, please.
It's fucking. It's really late at night, and
Yeah, you won't be able to
the
sleep.
last thing you want is to be in
the
the toilet
toilet.
on the plane tomorrow.
Bro, he's going to be using my toilet as well, bro. Don't.
Now you can give it to me.
I believe you have some questions. Did you have some questions for Toza?
Well, yes, of course. So we're gonna turn everything around.
Yeah.
Whoa!
If you have any questions for me too, please.
Wait, was this plane?
Where do you find inspiration for your fart kick?
Me? Well,
No, so yeah. Also for Hardstyle News, we're gonna be doing now a few questions for the main man Toza,
Okay,
who's been getting more recognition
you're getting Joe Rogan.
in Europe.
Damn.
With first of all, congratulations.
I'm nervous. I'm not used to being on this side. Anyways, yeah, keep going. I'm listening.
So yeah, you're here, and Remix just reached 1 million streams, which is huge. How did you come up with the idea to remix this track?
Honestly, man, TikTok. Straight out. I think it was a track that was trending on TikTok at that time, and yeah, like I know the original song before Pat B remixed it, and with Pat B's remix, he added like a really nice freestyle touch to it, and I was like, you know what, I need more music, and I think we should kick edit it, and yeah, just whipped up 4 kicks, and it happened. It was like a 4-hour project.
Nice.
That
And very successful.
Pretty
for a
much
project.
pretty much put me on the map, really. Like, let's be honest, like these are the things that you do very spontaneously, and it ends up paying off because it's good. Yeah. I think some people it's good. I'm fucking over the track. He's over the track. Everyone that all my mates, when that track comes, are like, fuck, not this again. But I still love the track.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I'm not over it. I fucking love it. So go stream it, get it to 2 million, whatever you want. You know, it's. I'm really happy with it, man. It's a big achievement, and I didn't expect it to be this quick. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. It's overwhelming, bro. To be honest,
Yeah.
like.
Who would you like to call it with in the future?
Hey, version.
Hold on. Fuck, all my favorite artists really, like, obviously Rebellion would be a really, really big collab, and that's something I'm working towards in a way where, like, I'm growing myself in order for me to provide value back to them and be able to do a collab with them. Then you got like people like Adjust, people like Adaro. Adaro's been really digging my music, so it's only a matter of time where, like, I'm decently big enough to be able to offer value to, you know, like, collab with them. Imperators, one of my boys, you know, Aversion.
Deadly Guns.
Yeah, for his sake, yes. That would be really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got heaps more artists. Like, there's a lot, like a big list. Like, I'd love to tap into everyone's like style and just be able to blend styles, and because at the end of the day you collab with someone because you like their style and you bring your own style and then you make something really good. And also like Sick Mode, man, like I'd love to really collab with Sick Mode.
Chupa.
Yeah, Mr. Chupa, that's what we call him.
Yeah.
That's, we call it.
And pretty much, these are all the people that I really want to collab with, but in due time, because at the end of the day, like I said, I need to provide value back. I can't just jump into their hype, you know.
So my next question would be, how would you, like, you've been in the Netherlands to party, how would you, like, what would you say is the biggest difference between the Dutch crowd and Australian crowd?
I think the crowd is very lively, 100%. More dedicated. They know the tracks. The tracks are born in the Netherlands. Like you said before, it takes a bit of time to get to us, but the Dutch crowd is always way ahead and always knows the tracks, appreciates the tracks more. I think there's a more dedicated scene there as per artist, as niche as they get. They still have a following. So that's what I really like about the Dutch scene.
Nice and short, love it, bro.
Like his...
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I've also got something nice and short.
I was about to fight again.
All right, next one. Well, what can we expect from you in the upcoming months?
I have 2 releases scheduled. Not going to reveal just yet, but definitely 2 releases. I've got a couple of bookings unannounced. One really big one. Can't really say anything about it. But really excited once everything's finalized and that's announced. It'll be good. I'm looking forward for my knockout set. My knockout set is going to be very, very big because we're putting so much fucking effort into it. It's not even funny. And it's going to be crazy.
I believe you.
And there's also a few other things, but just to keep it short.
Yeah. How did you start listening to hardstyle?
I started listening to hardstyle by mistake, actually. So what happened was I was in high school playing soccer with the big boys, year 12. I was in year 7, and one of the boys had iPod Nano, and he just gave it to me. He's like, "Oh, can you hold this? I just need to go back on the field and play." So I literally just did this, and then I was like, "What is this?" And then he just explained it, and I started doing my own homework. Started doing listening to more music, and started going to under 18s back when I was like 12. So yeah, that's where it kicked off. Then started hacking and stuff like that.
Sweet,
it's good. Yeah,
nice.
And best decision I've ever made.
So you recently, it's not that long ago that you started your own label.
Yes.
Where do you want to take the label?
Well, obviously worldwide. That's a big thing. With our label, we want to provide a platform for not just the artists that are on the platform, but on the label, but also worldwide, and mainly in Australia too, because I think a lot of Aussie artists don't have a platform like this to release music on. So that's one of the main goals for us for next year, is to get more guest releases from Aussie artists and more collabs and releases from international artists. So we have plans for that, but that's the main thing why we started a label. We want to something that's never been done, like something that there's nothing like this in Australia, and it's something we can really, really definitely grow to provide value to Australians and people overseas. Yeah.
Sweet. So
if you don't have any more, it's all right.
No, is there anything?
Let them cook.
Yeah, I would just like keep it like that, and then I've got one more question. So, is there anything you would like to say to, like, most of my followers are, probably Netherlands and Germany, obviously. Is there anything you would like to say to them?
Yes, actually a few things, man. First of all, thank you for your support. I know I'm all the way from the bottom of the world, but funny enough, like my top 2 countries that are streaming my music is Germany and Netherlands. So Germany's first and Netherlands second, and it's like really, really close, but numbers wise, it's so much more bigger than number 3, you know what I mean? So thank you for your support. Thank you for everything, all the messages that you guys send me, harassing me to come to the Netherlands to play, but it's not really up to me. It's up to the organizers, and I really would love to do it one day. And I think it's not far off, and I'm really looking forward to the future and what I can provide more. And yeah, thank you for, donating your hearing for my sidekicks.
Yeah.
All right. Last one. What would you say is most Australian about you?
I mean, coming from an Iraqi background of someone that moved here 13 years ago. I can say like just the kickback Aussie culture, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I'm a pretty laid back person. I can get a bit
confirm
crazy.
that.
I can get a bit crazy sometimes, but honestly, just like as much as the Aussie culture is crazy, it is also chill in a way where like some things are just like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I hope I answered that
Sweet.
properly, but it's a very hard question. But yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you for being
No,
on
thank
Hardstyle
you.
News.
Ooh, sorry, I burped. Yeah, no,
Sweet
thanks,
ass,
man.
yeah.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, bro. This is pretty nerve-wracking.
And now we're gonna get to Instagram. We have to also answer a few questions.
Yeah, so if you haven't checked, no, fuck, it doesn't make sense, don't worry. Just stay here. Let's stay here. We actually have a couple of questions for you, but what do you want to do first?
I'm just gonna check how long we've got before like the thing runs out.
Yeah,
Yeah, check it now if you want.
you can still get to the questions after, don't worry.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so I'll show you how. No, sit down.
Sit down.
We still got 2 questions for you, man.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So just before we end the podcast and everything, can we ask you the VUKZ question?
The VUKZ question, my favorite question.
All right.
Yannik.
Yeah.
Sonicz, Sonic Boom. Hardstyle News. What is my question? Bro.
If you could remove one thing from the hardstyle scene, what would it be?
Thank you. Oh, bro, I just spaced out hard. Sorry.
I would honestly have to say, well, I like the scene a lot. I think one thing that I can speak for German people about is that, so let's say you have an event with, let's say Warface, Headhunters, the Tweakers, then you've got like many different people coming together. You've got a lot of people who just discovered the Tweakers half a year ago, for instance, and are really digging their music. And we love to see the scene grow, you know? That's, I mean, how you also, as an artist, you cut a bargain from that and everything. But if you're coming from a different scene, and in that scene, maybe mosh pits are okay. They're not okay in the hardstyle scene, so just please leave these at home. Like, there's nothing more annoying than enjoying a Warface set and getting an elbow in the back because you're too keen to do a mosh pit. You can do it at different events like drum and bass or whatever, where this is something that happens frequently, but it has it doesn't belong in the hardstyle scene.
Wow, that's actually that's new.
That's
man.
different.
That's different.
Thank you.
Honestly, that's crazy.
Yeah, my mate was last year, like Musical Madness.
Yeah.
They have a very big event now, and he was at the roll stage the whole time, and then he came to the main stage because Rebel and Warface were playing there, and there were like so many people who probably just they knew maybe 1-2 hours on the lineup, and they had no idea, like, man, they don't know how to behave at a festival, and like like even Musical Madness are posting about it. There's a no mosh pit policy and everything. Like, you're not gonna be dragged out by the security if you do it, but like it's just not. No one wants to see it.
That's actually like a very, very interesting one.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's
I've never heard that, but yeah, that's...
No, actually, like, well, this is the first time we hear this on, like, answering this question. We had some double and triple ups of, like, answers, but this was actually a really new one, man. So, rave safely.
Rave safely, yeah.
I mean, if I get hit by a kick roll because someone's,
Yeah,
that's fine. But because if you the more you kick roll, the cooler you are.
Yeah, well, maybe we should get you in his stratosphere in one of the events, and
He's the Australian mold son.
We'll ask you this question after you hang out with him in an event.
He's the Australian
Holy
mold
shit.
son. Yeah, he's a big boy.
All right, well, now it's time for my question, which is...
What? Okay. What is the most awkward situation you've ever been in?
Like in general?
Yeah, anything.
Doesn't have to be hardstyle related.
Oh, crap. That is very, very difficult.
Payback for that question about Aussie Aussie culture.
Yeah. I honestly don't know because, like...
That's crazy. Just give us something, man.
Give you something.
What about the one you were telling me before with your phone?
Which one?
The phone when you smacked it.
Oh yeah, okay. So at an event, it wasn't an awkward situation. It was just a very unfortunate situation, I would say.
Yeah. That could be.
Yeah, a very unfortunate situation because I was at an event, and it wasn't like they hadn't done the event too many times, but like I was running around a lot, you know, kind of like trying to help them out. I was there for Hardstyle News. They were very nice to me, so I was like, yeah, cool. I'll help them out. I got the rider ready for the headliners and everything, and yeah, I was also having a few drinks, but like eventually it just was a madhouse, and it was also a very snowy area, so like the floor was slippery and everything, and I went down pretty steep stairs. I went down the steep stairs and I like slipped and I landed on my ass, and I had done really nice videos for the event, but that was them gone because my phone just literally cracked.
Oh my god!
And I was in the middle of nowhere. I had no phone, and luckily I had a hotel because if I had to like find a ride, I couldn't have called anyone. I mean, the other people do have phones, but yeah, that was probably just a very unfortunate. It wasn't too embarrassing because luckily no one saw it, or maybe someone saw it, but they just don't remember because they were all pretty intoxicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably like at an event, I would say.
You pulled the Pez. We're calling it pulling a Pez.
It's calling it, but like valuable because I broke my phone.
Yeah.
But you know what that lesson was? To buy an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because iCloud.
And then I've got an iCloud now, so that's all sorted. Yeah, and
Buy yourself an iPhone.
fuck,
guys.
Don't
fuck
do it,
Android.
Jess.
Fuck Android.
How she wiped her whole phone.
Oh,
Or,
yes.
well, to be fair, you know, I could have if it was a Nokia. Then probably I would have like a broken coccyx or something, or the stairs
All
would
the
have
stairs
broken.
would have been broken. Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you very
so
much for having me,
Thank
guys.
you so much for blessing our podcast, man. It's really good to see people like you're actually the first foreigner on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, full
because
proper
we've
foreigner.
had
Robin.
You had a version.
oh shit no.
Sorry,
Sorry, man.
Sorry, Robin. He's
Sorry.
American.
You're
He's
But it's something else because
Yeah.
like I'm not just an artist. I also do
Yep.
content.
Hardstyle
Sort of
so
what we
I've
do-
seen
sort of what we're
different.
doing
Like
too, yeah.
I've had different like
Yeah, views.
views on the
You've been everything: a party goer, a content creator, an artist. Now you said you're
It's gonna be a
producing.
long description for this podcast,
Yeah.
man. Saying this,
Produce our content.
Yo, Sonic.
Check this out.
Yeah.
Sonic's.
Because usually
Boom.
it's like yeah,
Boom.
Sonic Boom.
But it's
Actually,
been
that's the episode name.
Sonic
Boom.
But it's been a pleasure, man. Honestly, I've enjoyed your company. Spent a couple of days with you now. Appreciate you coming down, supporting our events as well, man. So thank you.
100%, man.
yeah. Likewise, 100%.
Yeah, and before we go, obviously that's something we do for everyone, just as a token of appreciation. Is there any social media that you would like to plug for our viewers?
Yeah, 100%. Sonicz DJ on Instagram would be very nice if you left a follow.
With a Z.
Also with a Z. Yep, that's correct. Also Hardstyle News with a Z.
Yeah.
And Sonicz on SoundCloud. If I might have a new mix coming out in the next 2 months. So if you would go and leave a follow on SoundCloud, I would appreciate it. That's pretty much it.
Sounds good, man.
Awesome.
So do that, please. Also, for us, can you please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, share this to everyone, share it on your story, give us 5 stars on Spotify, and for
Me. For everyone else, check out our sponsors in the link down below. Check them out on Instagram. Check them out everywhere you can on all socials. OutportStrakeSystems.com. They've got some sexy socks. They've got some sexy looking people. So check them out for all your raving attire. And if you want to learn how to lift and lift properly and lift smart, check them out, guys.
Yep. So also want to plug the Instagrams for the coaches. It's Beth_outputss and Raz_outputss. So give them a follow and
Check them
let
out.
them know you came from Heat.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you
So
guys.
thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you.
TOZA,
and
thank
peace.
you. Peace.
Peace.